Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, anytime. Appreciate it, guys. Let me make sure everything's clear. Looks like everything's coming in all right. Fantastic. So, probably going to be a pretty busy day for the market. So, a lot of news. Seems like a little loud. It's all right. So, there's a lot of news kind of floating around out there. I think it was yesterday, really, about the market hitting all-time highs, which it didn't really ever hit all-time highs yet. Maybe today, but market's still not into all-time highs. But I'm pretty sure I was seeing some articles about the market being at all-time highs. I'm like, well, that's incorrect. So don't believe it yet. We're not into all-time highs, but we're damn close. There was also some fake news out this morning that Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, was in talks to purchase PCG. That is fake news. That is not legit. So if you've seen PCG pop up this morning and then it kind of came crashing down, that's because that was false information that hit the market. In other news, we have a lot of earnings plays coming out today. Specifically, I really like IRBT. Okay. Let's see. All right, just kind of looking. Thanks, appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, I woke up, took a shower today. I was feeling good. Some mornings I don't take a shower. I mean, I work from home, so some mornings I don't take a shower. But today I took a shower. It was nice. But anyways, here we go. This is IRBT. This is so far, this is one of my favorite. Earnings plays so far this morning because of the gap. I mean, it's appealing, right? The bigger the gap, the more opportunity it presents, right? A lot of times, we can see a lot of good volatility come in. So, anyways, IRBT reports earnings, ends up dropping out from 130 down to 109, and it's looking pretty good so far. It's just kind of consolidating to the side. This could easily lead towards a quick morning drop. So kind of following it for a short play initially, just because so far it doesn't really look like it's gaining much strength. It just kind of seems like it's starting to fade out. So really paying close attention to the 110 level marked here with the red dotted line. That is the main level I'll be watching for to see if we kind of snap that level and start breaking down. From a yearly chart, oh, sorry, I got to go 180 days probably. Let's see. Come on, Thinkorswim. There we go. So looking at the 180-day chart, it doesn't really appear that this 110 is a super significant support level. So I do feel we can break that 110 pretty easily. Most oftentimes when it comes to an earnings play, they usually gap up or they'll gap down into a strong support level or a strong resistance level. Yet IRBT doesn't really appear to be at a strong support level. If you're to go directly across, you're going to find yourself just right in the middle of basically a dead space candle, right? You'll find yourself right in the middle of this big candle, and there's really no structural support system there. So it's hard for me to believe that this 110 is going to hold super significant throughout the day. I mean, it's possible, but from a technical standpoint, there's really no strong support there that would really hold that there. So looking at the yearly chart, now if you go back a little bit further, the 110 is right here, which starts to run into some of this previous choppy consolidation, but yet it's right in the middle of the structure, right? We're not sitting on the top at 115, and we're not on the low points around, we're not really on the low points around 101? Yeah, 101. So we're sitting right here, at 110, which to me just doesn't, it's not very structural. So I think we could sure enough, I think we could see a little bit more downside on IRBT. Though it is a big gap down, I think we might shake below 110 and kind of fade out for the day on IRBT. So primarily going to watch it short. If it reverses or it holds 110 and it seems like we're soaking up a lot of the sell orders around 110, then we might in fact squeeze up off 110, but it just doesn't seem likely with this down drop, and it's already starting to roll over. right? We could watch it, but if it does end up flipping long, keep an eye on the 113 and the 118 level. All right. Now we'll go over to Boeing. You guys can read the earnings report on Boeing, but they aren't releasing their forward guidance just yet because they don't really. The way I see it is Boeing's not releasing their forward guidance yet for 2019, probably because they don't really know what to expect still with the outcome of the 737 MAX. I think their retail sales, or not retail sales, but the commercial sales for planes was down a little bit. So all in all, Boeing didn't really have a bad earnings. It doesn't appear that the 737 MAX issue is taking a toll on the stock, at least, well, it already has, but on this earnings report specifically, it doesn't look like it's taken a toll. So you can see we've whipsawed so far on Boeing, down, up. So it's creating kind of that awkward pre-market move so far. So I think we might get a little bit of a choppier start to Boeing before it picks up. So this one I'm going to try and be a little bit more patient with. I'm probably going to watch this 377 level from pre-market. 377 was his first initial pop rolling action. So probably going to pay attention to, this level closely for potential long plays. Not too crazy about Boeing, but I like Boeing's range. I mean, we've already shot from 369 up to 382. So just this move alone from 370 to 382 is 12 points. So just within the range from pre-market high to pre-market low, you can make money within the rallies in between. So, let's say it drops out, holds support around pre-market. I mean, you could probably get a bounce play off that for a couple points, So, like the range it's putting in so far pre-market. And those are the two that I'm paying attention to the most so far this morning. Good morning. If you're from Australia, what's going on, brother? Trading now before I go to court. Represent selling. Wish me luck. I'm confident. All right, Daniel. Good luck, brother. I hope it turns out well for you. I hope you get a win. Right? Can I look at Pinterest? Absolutely. So myself, I never, I had dreams of becoming a pinner. I had dreams of becoming an arts and crafts person, but the life just wasn't for me. So I found myself never using Pinterest. So I myself never really used Pinterest. I think I've been on it a couple times. I know some people that use it. I don't really know much about the platform, so I can't speak on behalf of what the platform really is and if it's great and how well it works for their advertising. I don't know you guys could probably tell me better. Is there any way that Pinterest can monetize that? And I didn't read their prospectus, so I don't know a whole lot on Pinterest just yet. I probably should look into them a little bit more. Haven't read their prospectus. So maybe you guys could help me here, but is there any way that Pinterest can monetize their business other than advertisement or putting ads on their platform? If not, then that's not good. If you're removed from the chat room, it is probably for the reasons of you promoting something that you shouldn't be promoting. That's usually the reasons why people are removed from our chat room. Probably promoting other chat rooms and other services. Do understand that when you do that, you're basically coming to our business and promoting your business. So that's like you walking in, Target and trying to sell Walmart products. Just doesn't work that way. So we don't appreciate that. So rather than calling you names, we just give you the boot. Yeah, I mean, I know like a lot of people on Pinterest do like arts and crafts things, a lot of artistic things. So I don't know if they can I should probably even download the app. If they can monetize their business other than advertising, I think it'll be good. See, for like Facebook, they can, they advertise, they have other business models, same thing that, most of these businesses, they end up forming a couple ways to bring in money other than advertising. So I'll look more into it. So Pinterest from the IPO started off pretty good. They had a pretty significant pullback late day yesterday. So the thing about IPOs is, generally speaking, if you're a technical trader, it's usually not the easiest to get a good outlook on it from like a yearly standpoint because you don't have much to go off of. We have 3 days to go off of here of Pinterest, right? Really not a whole lot. the best way to end up trading these is to go intraday on them. If you're going to trade these, you're really looking at intraday setups. The one thing we can point out is that Pinterest did hold this day's high. From this curl up to this high going across, you can see it's bouncing right here. So it is holding that level, but it gave back a lot of its gain from yesterday. So when you go look at like a 4-hour chart, you're starting to see more bearish movement on that stock, right? So if you look at this, we had a big, strong start to the day yesterday. Then the last kind of couple hours of the day, we gave back a lot of the gains. And this morning, pre-market, we held this previous high wick. You can see right here going across. We held, trying to bounce. So, it could push, but it's got a lot of work to do, right? If you look at it yesterday, you got to think there's a reason it started to give back all these gains, right? So today, is it likely that it's going to start pushing up through all that selling momentum? I would probably be more on the neutral side of Pinterest right now, especially when you look at the daily chart and you get this really long upper wick. That indicates selling pressure up from the 27 down to 25.91. So definitely seeing some sellers come in on Pinterest. All right. Gold futures. Wow, I haven't been asked that in a long time. I never look at gold futures, hardly. / That's a question mark, bud. So let's see, 3-year week. Let's see. Actually, let's take a step back. If we're going to look at the gold futures, we're going to go back 20 years. Really, when you look at the gold futures from a long time frame, they're really just kind of consolidating. Let me actually do some long-term stuff here. Let me take this off. Too long. Not going to work that way. So the momentum is starting to shift in gold right now from a long-term perspective to the upside. It may not look like it, but it's starting to from what it appears. So if you go from, if you're looking at trend, talking about trends, technical side of things, from its high back here at 1923, back at the peak after the financial crisis, you'll see it downtrends, right? And it stays below this trend for quite some time. But you can see recently in 2016 into 2018, now 2019. So we're talking the past 2.5, 3 years. We pushed over the downward trend, and then you can see we came down, right? So pay attention to this. We go up and over that trend, and we come down, and we're starting to hold above the downtrend now, okay? So that's significant that we're starting to hold above that downtrend line and starting to bounce it, right? And then we put in, excuse me, that trend line's a little off. We put in this higher low, right? We kind of broke here, right? So now look at this. So here was the trend from this low point to this low point going up, and then you can see it's rejecting this trend line, right? So you're starting to see a battle between bullish and bearish traders really trying to fight, one another and pick that trend. So we went from respecting the downtrend, right, and respecting this small uptrend to now it's a fight in between the two. So now we're kind of in this zone of rallying. So do expect some rallying to take place. Now that we've started changing direction, right, and respecting these trends in the opposite manner, now you're really going to want to go off support levels. So it's not so much about trend right now because the downward trend isn't getting respected to the down and the upward trend isn't getting respected to the upside. It's doing the inverse. So now you're going to want to start looking at, you're going to want to start paying more attention to support levels. And I keep zooming out and zooming in like a jackass. 1 second. So now you want to start paying attention to, like support levels, significant zones. So now I would just wait, actually that's probably too far. I probably should go back on like a 180-day chart for this to get a better analysis. Yeah, so like this, we are coming into this support and dipping below. Yeah, I mean, from the long-term perspective, I think gold's going to start turning bullish. My personal self. In the short term, it's starting to break some short-term resistance. We've been creating lower highs. So I would look for a start of more of a downtrend in the short period, maybe till we get back down into like the 1240, 1220 area into this consolidation zone for the gold futures. But anyways, enough on the gold futures there. Can you look at Lyft? Sure, why not? Probably needs a lift still. Ooh, excuse me. All right, it's not Lyft. There's Lyft. So Lyft is starting to settle a little bit, right? Volume starting to slow down, not getting as crazy. Past 10 days. Doesn't really look that good. Let's do 20-day, 1 hour. I mean, personally, I would probably be neutral on the stock, right? I don't think there's any reason to start buying Lyft yet. It's decreased from 86 to 55, which means that, was it Lyft or was that, I can't remember the actual IPO price of Lyft, but it wasn't 88. I can't remember. I have to look that up, I guess. But anyways, I wouldn't be too crazy about Lyft. I mean, they have their earnings report coming out soon. This is a situation where I would just wait for their earnings because chances are it's going to be negative, most likely, and this thing's going to keep decreasing. So me personally, I'd probably be on the downside of Lyft. They're just like Uber. They're losing billions. They're constantly in legal battles, facing litigation. So they got a lot of problems. I don't see any reason to really start buying Lyft yet, right? Also, I'm going to do a video on the Uber prospectus that I didn't touch on last time, but the prospectus on Uber shows that insiders are planned to sell lots of shares, right? So again, I personally feel that Uber is just kind of, this is their last hope because they've been facing losing billions for a long time, and the only way they can continue to propel their company and advance is if they have money to use, in which they've been losing so much money for so long that it's really hard for them to get new private investors to spend millions and billions of dollars with them when they can't turn a profit and they're constantly facing legal battles. So what's your next option? Well, if we can't get private investors to give us any more money, let's go to the public and see if the public's willing to give us any money. And in that time, insiders can start selling off shares. Now, someone's going to go, Connor, but isn't there a lockup period? Yes, there is, but not for all, okay? So private investors, in very early, they can dump out shares that they've been holding for a long time at an extremely overvalued price within the IPO, dump them out, get their money back, get a profit, and then dump the shares onto the open market. And then if and ever Uber starts to become profitable, people can start buying back into the company if they choose to, right? Or Uber can start issuing, different classes of shares, right? They can offer, Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D shares, right? So they can do all sorts of things if they want private investors back in. I mean, personally, I think Uber is on its last straw, and they really don't have any other option but to go public and see if they can gain some market share and raise money that way. All right, that's what I think is happening. And Uber, I think, is just going to tank. And same thing with Lyft. They're facing legality issues, and so I don't think it's a buy. I think it's just time to sit on that one, be neutral. But again, that's my opinion, right? That's my outlook. Yeah, believe me, I'm right all the time, and I'm wrong all the time. Mr. I'm just going to call you Gino. Gino, you're asking about the charting software. All this charting software is completely free through TD Ameritrade. Actually, it might not be free. It's been a long time. It's been so long since I opened an account. But from the last time I remembered, you can open an account with TD Ameritrade for free, or you had to deposit like $50, and then you can use their charting software. So it's basically free. You don't even, So tdameritrade.com, make an account, then go to Thinkorswim, download it, enter your account information that you created with TD Ameritrade, and then you'll download this platform and have it. What's going on, Mr. Abdul? Yeah. So anyways, Lyft, Uber, not crazy about them. Today didn't really see any penny stocks I liked. Nothing really sparked my eye. Sorry to hear for anybody that got caught in the MBRX offering. Sucks, just is what it is. You'll bounce back, right? Don't lose hope, okay? Just know that that's a common thing with penny stocks, right? And that's why you usually never find me holding a penny stock overnight. All right, just it can happen. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Yeah, I plan in the future to re-go through the course and redo all the videos and update them with higher quality video production, so it's a little bit better. So going to do some things, revamp that. Also, by the way, guys, I will tomorrow I'm going to link something. I'm going to link in the description. It's going to be a Google form. This is something that I had to do before we launch our new portion of our business. But anyways, I'm bringing on an options trader that's been trading options for 10 years and large cap trader, etc. I'm not trying to sell you anything here, but if you've been waiting on me to do anything with options, anything more along the lines of swing trading, I'm bringing on a couple people and we're opening up something additional thing to Boiler Room Trading. It's going to be called Boiler Room Trading Elites. So tomorrow I'm going to link a Google form. If you're interested or might be interested, I'm going to link a form tomorrow, and then you can put your email address and your name in it, and I'm going to select probably the first 50, 100 people randomly to do a pre-launch just so we can kind of work out the kinks of our new program before we do a full rollout. But anyways, if you want to put your name on that list and be on the list for a random selection, it will be there tomorrow, but finally introducing options to our private group that will be ran by a guy who's been doing them for, 10 years, right? I know him, but I don't know him like he knows him. And that's why you never see me teaching options, is because I don't know him well enough. It's not an area I feel comfortable with, so I had to bring someone on, right? This is how things are done. So anyways, tomorrow I will link a form. If you guys have been waiting on options, you want to learn options more in depth, I will have a form there that you can add your name tomorrow. So anyways, guys, I'm going to head back to the private group now. Thank you again for tuning in. Keep an eye on IRBT, keep an eye on Boeing, and then anything else you want to watch. Remember that AT&T had earnings, Caterpillar had earnings, eBay had earnings, Snapchat had earnings, but Snapchat sucks, so I would just stay away from that one, okay? Yeah, so I'll give you a little more detail. We're planning on doing our pre-launch for options, our options training, all that on May 1st. May 1st will be like a pre-launch, preliminary rollout, and probably going to bring on maybe 50 or 60 people, get them up to speed, and make sure that all the mentors know what they're doing and they're all running their live streams properly and there's not a mix-up on schedule. So once it's all tight and we're running a great schedule and everything's uniform and there's no hiccups, then we'll do the full launch. And then everybody on that list will be notified that we're fully launched, and then everything will be live. So thumbs up to that. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.